start this. This is really awkward. So this is my first week at uni. Technically last week was the first week because it was freshers. But this is my first week of lectures, so I was gonna film freshers and then I was living it and I was so overwhelmed every second of every day. So the thought of like setting up a camera and like getting the shots and then editing it while I was literally just unbelievably overwhelmed for the entire time was not really a shout. I did think about it and I did want to, and I think weirdly I think it would have been like nice to look back on and like see kind of the chaos, but I didn't really go out because I'm not really a going out kind of person, so almost I feel like there wouldn't have been that much to film that would have been typical to Freshers Week. It would have been like what was Freshers like for me specifically, which obviously would have been the case anyway, but I don't know, there was a lot going on and I was just very much like, I just want to be here and I want to make sure I'm getting places on time, and yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know if I'm going to just keep it for myself or if I'm going to post it anywhere. Right now I'm thinking just for myself, but I guess if you're watching this then potentially I've put it somewhere. I'm doing this mostly just as like a video diary and as a way to keep track of how I'm feeling and the whole experience, because it's kind of crazy. Like, it's weird that I live in a whole new city now and that I'm doing something as big as uni. So I'll start with moving in. Moving in was insane. It was really hot. It was so much hotter than I was expecting, bearing in mind it's late September in England. I was like, guys, why is it so hot? I was sweating. I basically unpacked in the space of like a day. I got here last Saturday, the 21st of September. It was basically a case of just getting all my stuff in here and then trying to organise it, and obviously my parents left on the day. That's weird, that's crazy, is when you arrive and then you unpack and then they're like, okay, bye. I'm not that close to where I grew up, like I've moved to a uni that's quite far away, and that moment where they left and I was like, everyone I know is over 2 hours away if I'd like needed them to come here, or I don't know, it's just very strange. It's a very strange feeling. The first night I did go out. By going out I mean I went to Spoons. I didn't go like clubbing. I haven't been clubbing this whole time, so I went to Spoons with my roommates and with someone that I met about a week before, who obviously is at the same uni, so that was kind of cool to already know someone. It was a fun night, I had a good time, and then I was like, guys, we have to go to the beach. We have to go to the beach because it's literally a 15-minute walk, and so we did at like midnight, went to the beach, stayed there for at least an hour and a half, and then walked all the way back. That was fun. I had a good time. I love the sea. I love the sea. It's a big reason why I chose this uni, is to be near the sea. I feel like every day since then has just been me trying to not get insanely overwhelmed. So obviously lectures start this week, but we had like induction lectures, like sessions. Those were so intimidating. I could feel my heart beating out of my chest for every single one of them, and it is getting to the point now, even now, where I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, can my body not have this reaction every time I'm in a room with a bunch of people? Weirdly, the bit I'm finding easiest is being in a new city, shopping for myself, cooking for myself. Don't get me wrong, it's a challenge to eat 3 meals a day, like, oh my god. Finding the time to cook and then wash up and, like, planning the meals, making sure you have all the ingredients, oh my god. I can't say I'm not enjoying it, but it is definitely, like, I really plan everything. But that's not the part, like, I'm really enjoying being in a new city. I'm really enjoying this, like, independence, living on my own, technically, living without parents. This, like, new step, I'm loving that whole side of it. Like, the life side of it, I'm loving. The going to lectures and potentially, like, meeting a ton of new people, working with a ton of new people, that whole side of it, I'm finding extremely stressful. So just swarms of new people, and I'm on a course where there's so much collaboration. So I think I'm just shitting myself a little bit, like I am. Every time I walk into a lecture room and everyone's in there, I'm just like, oh my god, like every time. Every time. It hasn't got better yet. So I'm waiting for it to get better. I'm waiting for it to get a little bit better every time. Obviously, the more I get to know people, the easier it'll get because I won't feel as intimidated, but there's over 140 people on my course, which is a lot of people. Like, especially just generally, like in the courses in the uni, that's a lot of people to have on a course. One of my roommates has like 20 people on her course. So there's like 140 of us, and it's just a lot. It's overwhelming. We did a 48-hour challenge to create something together in little teams. So I've met 5 or 6 people and I kind of tend to gravitate towards when it's like you have to sit with people. I'm like, hey guys. But yeah, that's my biggest challenge, is like meeting new people, because I just like freeze up. I'm just like, I don't know what to say, and I don't know what, like, I'm just like, hey. Bright side is I'm really enjoying being here, and I think that's like, I'm not homesick. I'm not thinking like, oh, like I feel so stressed to be in a new place, like this is where I want to be. And I have known that for a while, that kind of moving somewhere very different would make a huge difference in my life, and I would feel a lot happier and a lot freer, and I do. So at least I'm not kind of panicking, going like, I want to go home, because I do not. I want to be here, and I'm so happy to be here. And I don't know, I think the overwhelming bit isn't the like being somewhere new, it's the idea that uni is like the first step to the rest of your life. Because you spend your whole childhood in an education system, and then you either go and get a job or you go to uni. Both of those things are like, okay, this is me stepping into being an adult now, this is me stepping into life, essentially. So I did have a day, I think it was Tuesday last week, where I just went full panic mode, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be on this course, I don't know if it's for me, is this what I want to do as a career, like what if I change my mind, what if I want to go into this, what if I want to do something entirely different? Because I just thought, it feels so huge, like going to uni and being like, this is what I've decided, and then being like, wait, like what if that's not what I want my life to look like? And obviously you can change your mind at any point. The reason I was panicking about it is because money obviously comes into it. So it's like, we've paid for me to go to uni, obviously just the first year so far, but I was like, if I then decide I want to go on a different course, or if I want, like, after a year, it's like, well, we've paid for a year, and then I'm going on a different course, we're gonna have to pay for 3 more years, and it's like, so that was what was kind of getting me, I think. But it is true that you can change your mind and change your career and everything through your whole life. So I think it was just a moment of, you have the safety net, albeit it's rather suffocating, but you do have the safety net of school for a long time, of like, you're studying, you're in a sort of static state, really, of like, you're learning the subjects, and that's great, but you're not really doing anything with them. I think that's why I got so bored in school, because I didn't feel like I had any motivation or any goals that I was like working towards, whereas with uni or with studying to get a specific job, like, you've got a goal, it's like, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to get there, and then it's, for me, easier not to get bored. I got up this morning, I had breakfast, and then I had an 11 a.m, technically until 12, but it didn't last that long, lecture called Professional Development, which was basically just like health and safety stuff. Like, it wasn't really a lecture, and my lecturer was kind of saying like, those will be the kinds of things you're doing this week, of like introducing you to the courses and introducing you to the material, essentially. So I've got another one at 5 today until 6. 5 till 6? Why is it that late? Why am I finishing at 6? At least it's not a full day, it's literally 11 till 12, and then I get this whole space in between where I showered, I did my stretches, I kind of organised myself a bit. It's 1:30 at the moment, so I'll make lunch pretty soon. But it's really interesting, I've been here for 8 days, and I feel like it's been at least 2 years. Weirdly, I feel like I've always been here. It didn't feel like I needed to like settle in and adjust. I literally had my first night here, and I woke up the next day and I was like, yeah, I'm fine, like, still got a couple of things to unpack, I still needed to put my posters on the wall, but you know, I've been going for walks, trying to kind of get a good lay of the land and know the routes to shops and to the beach, and try and map things together in my head. I've still got a bit of work to do, but I feel very comfortable here. but I have definitely had ups and downs already. I feel like I've been here for so long. I've got kind of an overactive brain, so anything I have doubts about, which is mainly like socializing and trying to make friends, given the choice, I tend to choose to spend time alone, or just like a lot of the activities I enjoy doing are activities you do on your own. So I love reading, I love writing, I love painting, I like cooking, but in an empty kitchen. Like, I do like activities where you can interact with other people. Like, I'm very interested in joining the dance group here. I'm interested in, I don't know, one of my roommates suggested like going on walks together to kind of get to know each other, and I thought that was a really nice idea. And when I've been to the beach, I think twice, maybe 3 times, and all 3 times it's been with, you know, other people. So I do like spending time with people. My social battery dies very quickly. So that's been my biggest worry, is like making friends, but also I've been worried about not wanting to make friends. Do you know what I mean? So yes, I have been worried about like, oh, what if I don't make friends? Like, what if I don't interact with people enough and they don't kind of get to know me, and then I end up being that one person that isn't in a friend group, and like that mental spiral. But also, what if I'm given the option repeatedly and then I choose not to? Because like I say, I haven't gone out at all for all of freshers, apart from that first night, and I only went to Spoons. Like, it wasn't like I went to like one of the clubs or any of the like free entry, free shot, free, you know. It gets to like 8 p.m. and I'm exhausted. I'm in my pajamas. I'm getting into bed. I can't even sit here and pretend that I wish it were different, that I wish I had the energy to go out clubbing. I'm not a clubbing individual, and that's fine. It's just then hard, I feel like, to meet people because you're not going out. Like, even when, like, my roommates have been doing prees in the kitchen, and they'll have people come over first, they'll all do prees, and then they'll all go out. Hypothetically, I could go out and just spend prees with them and meet all the people that are coming in. But when I tell you it's 8 p.m. and I'm ready for bed, like, I'm interested in the dance society. I'm interested in the book club. They've got a meet this week. So my best friend and my sister are coming to visit me on Friday. So that's going to be fun. I do want to film a fair amount of that, and they are insisting on taking me clubbing, which is fair enough. They were like, you can't go to uni and not have a night out, so I'm going to do that with them, which I don't mind doing. I feel like that's the difference, is like when you have people that you love and that you trust, and that you know will make sure you're safe, you make sure they're safe, that's when I'm down to club. I'm going to go make lunch. I'm hoping to film for most of this week. I want to do like first week at uni vibes, despite it being technically my second week.
Sally Rooney writing female characters like she thinned skinnily down the stairs. I giggled at that, but I have not read a single Sally Rooney book.
It is Tuesday afternoon, and I've just had what's going to be my main meal for the day. I had a lecture I thought it was at 11, and then it turned out to be 1, so I did some just random bits and bobs I've been meaning to do, and then did some budgeting. I'm trying to track everything I buy, and then figure out how much I'm spending weekly on food, stuff like that. I did some of that. I still have some of that to do, actually. Then I went to my lecture, which wasn't too bad, actually. I wanted it to get slightly better every time I went, and I do think it was slightly better. It was slightly better. The heartbeat was still going, but yeah, I've made food. I did a recipe that I haven't done in like literally I think 5 years. It was a recipe that we did in food tech in secondary school. And I had the recipe on my phone just still from, I think it was like 2018 or 2019, and so I was like, oh, I'll do that when I go to uni. And I bought the ingredients on Sunday, I think it was, and I was like, I'm gonna try it today, and it was good. And I think I've made enough for 2 portions, so I've had 1 now, and I'll have another one on a different day when maybe I don't want to cook, so that's cool. I do want to do some batch cooking. I feel like that's a really good thing to do, so I'll get on that at some point. I was thinking yesterday, actually, when I stopped filming, it got to evening, and yesterday was actually the very first day where I haven't called anyone from home, so I've been like FaceTiming a lot of people, and yesterday was the very first day where I didn't call anyone. I was really tired, and I was just ready to sleep. And I really felt the difference. I was like, oh. Because obviously I've been sitting here going like, I'm not homesick, like, but I think I'm people sick. I think if I could bring like my core 3 people and have them live here with me, just in the city, like know that they're there and we can like go for a walk or just chat or whatever. And because I was just sitting here yesterday, like, I felt lonely for the first time. Because I've been enjoying being alone and haven't really felt all that lonely, but I did feel a bit lonely last night. I feel like it's not talked about how big of a thing this is. I mean, it is and it isn't, because also going to uni is huge, but there's so much to it, and I feel like people don't talk about the nitty-gritty details of, like, for example, really small things, really, like, not a big deal things going wrong. Like, for example, I left yesterday to go to the first lecture, and I left my student card here, and for some reason that just like threw me off. And then later I got so into editing this video that I missed my second lecture, and I realised that, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I've done this. Like, I can't believe I've missed like my second ever lecture. Like, what if I miss something important? Like, and just started berating myself. And I don't think I'm at a point of berating myself because I missed my lecture. I think it's like the whole new life. You get really overwhelmed. Being at uni, being in a new city, not really having a support system with like present with you yet, trying to make friends, everyone's trying to make friends, but you still feel really awkward about it and kind of like you're the only one, even though everyone's in the same boat of trying to bond and like cement a friend group. And I don't know, I just feel like if you're starting uni or if you're starting a new phase of your life, the biggest thing I can say is try not to compare yourself to other people, because I mean, we all do it. I definitely do it. In fact, I do it so much. I spend so much of my life focusing on what other people are doing and like, what should I be doing, what they're doing? Like, they're doing something very different to me, and like I get very in my head in that way. And if you can try and avoid that, that's great, because I met someone recently who is really homesick and she's really, really struggling. And that's the biggest part that's affecting her. And for me, I'm not homesick at all. I'm definitely missing some people back home, but there's nowhere I'd rather be right now. Like, this is where I want to be. However, on the social side, I'm terrified I'm not going to make friends. I'm terrified, like, people are going to think I'm weird, or that I'm on the wrong course, and actually, what if I want to switch? Or what if I want to get on a course that I don't have the qualifications for at the moment? What if I have to go backwards? What if I have to get some more A-levels? My point is, everyone has different things that they struggle with, and everyone has things that they're better at dealing with than you might be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I literally said I didn't know what I wanted to do with this, and I'm talking as if people are going to watch this. I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought a bit, but try and focus on what you are good at, and think about the things that you're not as good at as just a place in your life where you can grow, because the only way is up in those areas. The only way is up for me when it comes to making friends. A big thing is patience, and a big thing is just try not to spiral into like, this is what I should be doing and this is what other people are doing, and why am I not in that same place as them, because everyone goes at their own pace. And these are all things that I'm trying to learn currently. I'm just really trying to not put insane amounts of pressure on myself, because I've done that my whole life and it just ends up making me miserable throughout the process of anything. So that's Tuesday's goal. My biggest problem today is I can't get into the app that we have to use to do laundry. So I'm going to try and log in for like the 17th time, and if it's still not working, I think I'm going to have to go downstairs to the desk and ask them, and I really don't want to. But otherwise I'm not going to be able to do laundry, and I kind of need to be able to do laundry, so that's my biggest practical problem at the moment. Today has probably been my busiest day so far. I started the day by getting the time of my lecture wrong again. This time I thought it was at 10 and it was at 11, so obviously that is the ideal. I woke up, I thought I was late, I was rushing around, I sat down to eat breakfast, I looked at the time, and it was 9:45, not 10:45. And I was like, wait, I'm fine. So technically I knew it was at 11, but I was like rushing around thinking that it was 11:15 and it wasn't at all. Anyway, so I signed up to something, one of the societies. In that free time, I went to the lecture. It was 2 hours. I'm on day 2 of my period and it was horrendous. I had cramps, I had back pain. It was really bad. I was struggling to pay attention to what he was saying. To be fair, it's the most interesting lecture we've had so far. He gave us an intro, but then obviously he actually started teaching us stuff and like talking about the history of Hollywood, and it was really interesting. And it's probably the first thing that's really caught my attention on my course and like made me want to like do extra reading. And so I'm having problems with my uni account, so once that's all sorted out I will be able to do reading, but at the moment I can't look at any of the resources because I can't log in properly, but I'm figuring that out. So then I went straight from my lecture to the bus stop where I caught the bus with a bunch of people, and I met with a bunch of people from the book club. So that was really cool. I spoke to at least 10 different people. We did some little games, we did 2 truths and a lie, we played Kahoot at one point. I won Kahoot and I was so proud, and I got a free brownie. It's been a crazy day. I literally got back from meeting everyone at the book club, dumped half my stuff, and then went back out and did a very small food shop of just like bits and bobs that I've run out of. And I've just got back. Like, I've literally just sat down. I left here at 5 to 11. It's now 5:30, and I've just like chilled. I've made myself a cup of tea. On day 2 of my period, this is probably the busiest day I've had for the whole thing, and the worst day of my cycle. Like, of any day of the entire month that this could have happened on. Insane. But I'm really proud of myself. I spoke to so many people. I've planned to meet up with someone tomorrow from book club, and we're gonna just walk to the beach and chat and get to know each other. And yeah, I'm just very proud of myself for going, because like technically the lecture finished, it was 11 to 1, that's what it said on the schedule, and then the bus was supposed to arrive at 1, so there was a part of me that was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. Luckily the lecture ended about 10 minutes early, but I so easily could have been like, oh guys, I can't come, like I've got a lecture. But I went, and I feel like I pushed myself, and it wasn't easy. Like, I wasn't sitting there like, oh, this is a breeze. But I spoke to tons of people, we played games, it was fun. And I'm going to meet up with someone tomorrow. We're going to go to the beach. I'm just kind of pleasantly surprised with myself. Didn't get a chance to film at all yesterday. I had a lecture in the morning, came back here, managed to sort out my uni account and my laundry app, so that's great because that was stressing me out. Went back out, second lecture, which actually turned out not to be a lecture, it was a workshop, and we started looking at some of the camera equipment, and that was really cool. Came back here to eat. I also did some batch cooking, which was good. I've got a couple of meals in the freezer that I can do next week. And then I went to the beach with my new friend. So that was really nice. We both picked up pebbles off the beach. Yeah, it was just really cute. I got loads of pictures of the sunset. It was just a really nice evening. Came back here, watched Bake Off, and then went to bed. Yeah, I just didn't really have time to film because whenever I was back here, I was cooking. But it was a good day. Today I had my first seminar, which was a little bit terrifying. Also, we got there and she was like, so I expect that you guys have done the reading. And when I tell you, everyone in the room went, what? We were like, no, the lecturer said that, we'd go through the reading in this session. And she was like, no, he introduced the reading to you, because she had the PowerPoint that he'd used, but I was looking at the screen and the very last slide that he showed us was the one that came right before talking about the readings. Like, he never actually got onto that, so in her head she was like, no, I'm looking at the PowerPoint and he said he did the PowerPoint and this is what's on the PowerPoint. And multiple people were kind of like, actually, and she was like, no, like she wasn't having a bar of it. It was, with hindsight, it's funny. In the moment, every single person in the room was sweating. We got through it. We did all right. She did help us out a little bit. Like, I think more than she was expecting to have to. Like, I could kind of tell that she was sort of thinking, like, I wasn't expecting to have to tell them this. I thought they'd already know, but she did help a bit. And then basically the concept of the seminar is you just have to talk to people. So you have to discuss things, and if you don't talk, I guess you don't pass the class. Like, that's what a seminar is. So that was something for sure. I did meet a new person, probably be sitting next to her in the future as well, because yeah, she was lovely and we were just like doing our best with the information we had at the time. I've just had lunch really quick, and then I've got a few like miscellaneous things I need to do. There's a couple of things with societies that I haven't quite like signed up to. Then I'm gonna go back out. I've got a lecture at 4, and then I come straight back here and I'm gonna try and just like tidy. I need to take the bins out because my sister and my best friend are arriving at probably like 6:30. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see them. I feel like I hadn't allowed myself to think about it all that much. Like, I hadn't really sunk in that they were coming, and now I'm like, they're actually gonna be here, so I am very excited. I'm gonna go quickly because my roommate is blasting music. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I think it's mildly amusing that on Monday I was going, this is just for me, and literally in the span of 4 or 5 days I'm like ready to post this on YouTube. I've like prepped my channel, and I think it's going up. I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel, or I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel for, I don't know, since I was like 13, and I have tried to make videos before and it just hasn't felt quite right, and the biggest thing holding me back has been being terrified of what other people think of me, people I know in my life kind of watching and judging me, and it's extremely intimidating. But I saw something the other day that was like, we're gonna die at the end of this. And I don't know why, but in the moment, it really hit me. And I was like, you're right. Like, we're gonna die at the end of this. And why would I not do the things I want to do just because I'm scared of what other people are gonna think? And it sounds really simple, but it's such a hard mindset to put into practice. So that has been probably the only thing holding me back, is like fear of what people in my life who know me personally will think of me. And I'm done doing that because it's a waste of time, and if I get hit by a car tomorrow like, it won't make a difference in the slightest. So I just want to do the things that make me happy, and I will be posting videos for as long as it makes me happy, and I think that's the goal. It's also really cool to look back on. Like, I can imagine in like 5 years, even 1 year, looking back on this video and being like, wow, that's where I was in my first year of uni, like that's how I was feeling and that's what I was thinking, and I remember feeling like that and now I feel like this, and I just find that so fascinating. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.